I am a midnight snacker. Now, I can't be the only one that deals with this issue. I don't even know if it's really an issue. It's kind of more of a habit that I can't seem to break. I'm doing carnivore, um, an animal based diet right now. So where I mostly eat, it's like steak. I eat hamburger meat. Um, I'll do some fish every now and then I eat fruit. And I'm doing this because I've struggled with anxiety for a long time, and I have it pinned down to like caffeine and a bad diet. So my anxiety has gotten pretty bad to where I started developing twitches. My one of my good friends' cousins developed ALS, and I'm the kind of guy that if you have a family member uh, that has a heart attack, I'll immediately start thinking that something's wrong with my heart. I'll feel like a weird palpitation, or I'll feel a rush of energy, and my heart will start beating, and um, I'll feel like something's coming on, and I'm about to enter to a heart attack mode. But really, what it comes down to is just a hardcore anxiety, and I've figured out that I can control my anxiety through diet and exercise. But one thing that I can't stop is fucking eating sweets in the middle of the night. I get up in the middle of the night and I run. I'm not even really awake. I kind of just I go to the kitchen, and whatever is in my memory of my wife bringing in from the grocery store, if it's a pop tart or if it's ice cream, whatever the fuck it is, I'll get it, and I'll be kind of asleep, and I'll go in the kitchen and I'll grab it, and then I want to eat it in the middle of the night. It'd be 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even done really eating it when I go lay down in bed. I know that I'm doing this. I consciously am aware that I'm waking up, I'm going into the kitchen, and I'm about to eat. But I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm trying to trim down, and it's like a goal to have some abs. I'd love to have a six pack. I'm 34, 35, somewhere around there. I'd like to have some abs before I get into my 40s. I feel though that this midnight snacking is what's really holding me back. It'll be cereal, Fruit Loops. It's sugar. I don't know where it stems from. I think because when I was growing up, we uh, we weren't allowed to have sweets all the time. So when I was little, I would wake up in the middle of the night, get out of bed, sneak to the kitchen. My ass would be making cookies in the middle of the night. It'd be 2 o'clock in the morning. My mom would get up, be pissed, like, "What the hell are you making cookies for in the fucking kitchen, 2 o'clock in the morning?" But legitimately, I would be eating. I would try to sneak in as much sweets while everyone else is asleep because I couldn't eat them normally, throughout the day. So I would get in all my snack time while everyone was asleep. And then that kind of morphed into when I moved out on my own. I mean, I was drinking just Dr. Pepper, sugar, everything. And obviously, it's not good for you. And really trying hard these days to eat clean. I try to feed my kids good stuff. The real food, nothing that comes out of a box or a package or anything like that. Um, but you know what's funny? I don't wake up and I crave meatloaf or fucking spaghetti. It's sugar, and I wholeheartedly believe that it stems from me waking up as a child in the middle of the night and wanting to go in the kitchen to get sweets when no one was awake. My parents, they weren't like hardcore strict. They just wouldn't let us have, sweets throughout the day. So it was my time when I was a little kid. I would go in and just ravage through the cabinets. I would be making cookies. Everyone knows that I do this. It's not like a secret. Um, I'll have crumbs like Oreo crumbs to this day in my bed when I wake up. They got cookie stuff on my back, and I feel like I can't be the only one going through this. Um, so I don't know. I when I first transitioned to keto, I did keto for about a year, and I had sticky notes all around my house, and that kind of seemed to help. I think the sticky notes were, they said like stay away, like don't eat in the middle of the night. That kind of. They had them on the fridge. I had them on my mirror in the bathroom. That kind of worked. It worked for a year, and then I got down to a reasonable weight, and then the stickers kind of went out. Stickers fell off, and then I started snacking again. Um, so now I'm at this point now where I just can't stop. Like I'll go probably 3 or 4 nights a week without doing it, maybe. But the rest I'm gonna do it. Like I don't know what you, if you have the same problem. I feel like I can't be the only one with this issue. But I do notice that when I indulge in the sweet stuff, and I can like withhold myself all day and be good. I don't need sweet coffee. I don't need sugar, sweet tea or anything like that. And it's like a different person. Like good John goes to sleep, and then bad John wakes up in the middle of the night to take a piss, and I'm gonna just destroy whatever's in my house. Um, I'm curious to know what other people, if they do this, how do they kind of combat this, and how do they keep themselves from eating? Because it's kind of like when I joke around and I say I'm not awake when I do this, and I'm really not. I am. I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I don't have any self control, and it's me telling at what it is. It's an excuse. Like it's like me. I'm like formulating this internal excuse. Like, well, hey, well, whatever happens between 2 and 4 a.m., it's not on me. It's on you. It's this other person. So I think the first, like, as I'm talking to myself, I'm realizing I just need to just fucking stop making excuses and not eat. But I wrote down how I know I can control this, um, and I need to just put forth some effort and do it. So number one, if you have kids, it's kind of hard because you always have snacks. So if you're single and you're young, you can avoid buying those kind of things. But we have kids, and we have cookies and all kinds of shit in the house. So one way is for me not to know that my wife brings shit in this house. I don't want to know when she goes and buys cookies or gummy bear. I don't even like gummy bears. Like if you ask me like to eat a gummy bear in the middle of the day, I don't like the taste of it. I don't crave a gummy bear. But 2 o'clock in the morning, John, is gonna fucking just destroy a package. It won't be just one package of gummy bears. You know those gummy bears that come in the little packets. It's like the I don't even know what they're called, the Mott's or something like that. They have like 8 gummy bears. I'll eat like 7 packages of those things. Like I don't have any self control. But if I don't see them come in and I don't know where they're at, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So I do really well. There's been times too where I find something as I'm cooking, because I do most of the cooking in the house. Don't let my wife fucking fool you, but I do most of the cooking. And if I'm going through the cabinet and I see something, I will tell my daughters to hide it. Like I don't even want to know it's there. Go put it somewhere else. I don't want to know it's here. Like Valentine's Day, I'll buy my wife her favorite candy, which is Kit Kats, and oh my god, I fucking love Kit Kats. So I'll buy my wife the big, the big ones, the super size fucking Kit Kats, and she'll eat. She eats like a bird, so she'll eat like one Kit Kat after dinner, like one bar of the giant size. I know that that's there, so I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll go fucking destroy those other 3 bars that I know that are still there. It's sickening. I don't know. I can't I can't control this shit at all. But if I know that it's not there, then I'm good. So the other tip that I seen one other person do a video like Midnight Snacker or how to avoid snacks is like, don't get the snacks that you like. That doesn't work for me because I just told you about gummy bears. Whatever it is that has some sugar in it, I'll eat. So if that works for you, congratulations. But it doesn't work for me. Like I want something sweet in the middle of the night. This other thing, number 3. So this thing has helped me pretty tremendously since I've started. So I did keto And I did keto for about a year, and then I started realizing that I was gaining more weight because I would eat keto pizza, which is the cauliflower or even the bread, the pizza bread that's just made out of fucking mozzarella cheese. I realized that I started gaining more weight, so I quickly stopped that. But so now I'm doing animal based, and I did probably only meat for about, I don't know, a couple of months, and then I I needed to start feeling a little different. I mean, I didn't have the energy. I was still feeling, okay, but I just didn't have I guess the pep in my step. I don't know. I was missing something. So I started adding fruit back in my diet, and I'll do. I started messing around with some mangoes, some papaya, strawberries, and blueberries, and now I'll even add some honey. So if you follow some of the carnivore people, carnivore MD Paul Saladino, he'll put honey on his burger. He puts honey on everything. I kind of messed around with that a little bit, but more term lately. I just put honey on my fruit. So I'll eat mango and strawberries and blueberries and sometimes some watermelon, and I'll douse it with honey as a dessert for after dinner. And surprisingly, that's worked pretty well. Um, I'm able to keep some of the cravings, from coming up in the middle of the night because I have that sweet, like my sweet tooth has been cut. I got the freaking honey. It's good. I feel like I've cheated a little bit, even though it's probably not really cheating. I think it's pretty healthy for you. Um, that kind of helps. Um, but we don't always have fruit in the house and stuff like that. So or we'll buy fruit on Sunday. We'll get to Thursday, and I won't have it. So then I start looking for other stuff. But that pretty. I don't know if you've messed around with fruit, but you know I feel like those um, that can kind of curve your craving a little bit. The last thing I kind of talked about was, this is my last tip, I guess. What really helps me, it just makes me feel like a weirdo because I have all these notes around the house. So I'll put sticky notes and I'll write "stay away" or "don't." Don't indulge or think about what you really want. Stupid notes that kind of trigger thoughts of what I really want long term and not what I want short term. So I'll put those on the fridge. I'll put those on, the mirror in the bathroom, and that is what kind of helps me stay away from the food when I'm eating. Um, so I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel right. Like I should have all these freaking notes around the house. And my family kind of makes fun of me a little bit. End up being a weirdo, being that weird guy that has notes all the way around the bathroom. So anyway, I don't know if you, I'd be really interested in hearing or seeing or reading your comments. What works for you? If you're a midnight snacker, and this has been like a life. I'm 34 years old. I've been eating throughout the night for as long as I can remember. And like I said, I don't wake up and crave pizza. It's sweets. So it's just like a mental internal battle that I know I have to fight. I know I'm gonna have to overcome myself. But I want to know like what works for you and how do you get past these midnight cravings? Because it's kind of a pain in the ass for me. But the reason I really want to get it under control is because I feel it mentally when I wake up and I have spoonfuls of freaking Nutella. I'm 1,000% more sluggish the next day. I know I am. I feel it in my bones. I'm not operating at 100%. But also I'm not. My mental acuity is just not there. I'm not sharp like I am when I'm not eating those things. And I'm also a little more easily pushed into anxiety. I know one thing I want to try to give up is caffeine, but caffeine is just that's like my one drug, my one thing that I need. I know when I limit my caffeine intake, my anxiety is good, and I don't have panic attacks or anything like that. Um, and I don't really indulge in like sugar coffee. Mostly, I drink cold brew with heavy whipping cream, and then every now and then I'll put like sugar-free vanilla. I know that's not good for you, so don't hate me for that. But anyway, I'm curious to what what works for you for this midnight snacking. Let me know. I had fun talking. Talk to you next time.